But now we have some real numbers showing us the impact of what Trump's tariffs are doing. A contraction of 1.6% in the second quarter of the economy, 10% loss of business investment. Like, those are things that will for sure impact the bottom line of the government. Are they, as a result, supposed to just slash and cut? Because I don't know if Canadians have an appetite for that.
How about not invent new spending? You know, the $13 billion in a new housing bureaucracy rather than just getting the government out of the way of new home construction. Massive increase in consultants. How about the fact that we're talking about business contraction in the economy, the billions of dollars that they've chased away with their anti-energy development laws. So
well, we believe.
Away. No.
It seems like they're getting rid of half of those. Yeah.
They've refused to repeal the No More Pipelines bill. They've refused to repeal the shipping ban, which basically means only Canadian energy cannot be shipped off our western coast. Other countries' energy can go up and down the coast. Only Canadians can. They've refused to repeal the impact assessment regime that they built, which was designed to get to a no. They vetoed Northern Gateway. They layered on all kinds of rules and regulations on the energy sector. And as a result, tens of billions of dollars have fled into other countries. The United States has signed over deals worth over $750 billion on LNG alone.
But
that's something that Canada could have done, and then we wouldn't be talking about a massive contraction. So between the spending that's being increased,
we would still be talking about contraction given our dependence on the States.
We would have been able to diversify. Northern Gateway would have helped us diversify off of the American economy. Trudeau canceled that. Carney cheered for that. He cheered on and applauded Justin Trudeau for doing that. So Canada, after 10 years of Liberal government, is more dependent on the United States for our exports.
It's actually the same. It's 75% of our exports then, 75% of our exports now.
No, but when you consider what it could have been, I mean, Northern Gateway was a real opportunity to get Canadian energy into Asian markets.
But it lost in the courts.
No. Justin Trudeau vetoed that.
It lost in the courts decided, and then Trudeau decided not to fight it. He didn't appeal the decision from the court.
Well, you know, you say tomato, I say tomato. Justin Trudeau had the ability to see that pipeline through. He did not want it. I remember his speech when he explained the reason why he did not want Northern Gateway to proceed, despite the fact that there were multiple partnerships agreements signed by First Nations communities along the way, despite the fact it would have opened up Asian markets. He also stacked the deck against Energy East, which would have taken Western Canadian energy into Eastern Canadian markets, displacing foreign oil. So every way you look at it, the Carney-Trudeau Liberals, the policies that Mark Carney has kept in place, was designed to leave our energy in the ground. That is something that has made Canada's economy weaker and meant that the government has less fiscal capacity to respond to the United States.
My sense is, though, that what Carney has said and even started to do is conceding what you just said, basically. I don't see him doing anything but trying to delineate his government. I'll tell you why, because he's saying that the Conservatives were right, is my takeaway, because he's saying we're going to get rid of the emissions cap, for example.
C5. Well, has he made the commitment that he's going to get rid of the
Well, he said to me he was open to it.
Okay.
Point blank, a number of months ago.
This is the problem.
Let me finish. C5 is also meant to, on a case-by-case basis, move around those pieces of legislation. So if new LNG development or a new pipeline requires that, the impact assessment not be used or the tanker ban not be in place, C5 is supposed to override that, give the cabinet the ability to override that. If they got rid of everything, we'd have no climate plan.
No, that's not true at all. I disagree. First of all, Mark Carney is proving up to be just another Liberal. One day, maybe he might be open to it. He's been Prime Minister now for 6 months. He promised to move at unimaginable speeds, and nothing really has gotten done. His major project list is 5 projects that were all either already approved or in some cases already underway. I mean,
not LNG Canada. The investor hasn't even made a decision on that yet.
What he's done with C5 is he's given himself the power to use what's called selective enforcement. That means instead of the market deciding, instead of investors deciding, yes, this project, yes, that project, no, that project, or the market deciding, Mark Carney is going to decide when the rules apply and when they don't apply. It's very dangerous. We want to live in a country where the market decides things. He wants to live in a country where he gets to decide things. And the difference there is,
doesn't government have to send a message?
No.
That we're open for business.
No, but you send that message by setting up the goalposts and fixing them in one spot. And what we saw with this Liberal government over 10 years, that the goalposts kept moving and back and forth and side to side. What Mark Carney is telling some businesses, some selective companies, that, hey, you don't even have to try to kick the ball at all. And the difference in that is, instead of pleasing the market, now companies are going to have to please politicians. Instead of letting the market decide, politicians are going to decide. That is dangerous. Every country that's ever tried has gone down that road, where politicians get to decide when the rules apply and when they don't, leads to corruption, leads to lack of investor confidence, and it leads to companies moving out of those countries.
Even in a time of crisis, though, and I do take that point, but I know that your party has constantly cited this LNG terminal on the water in Germany as evidence of how fast things can get built. Germany essentially brought in their own C5 to override their own environmental laws in order to get that thing built, and it worked.
But why just for one company? Why not have an accelerated approvals process based on fixed criteria for everyone?
Okay, I'll leave it on that note. We'll let Canadians decide. Thanks a lot, Mr. Scheer. Appreciate your time as well.